Hello, everybody, and welcome to Expeditious Fool Tarot. My name's Brandon, here with another Lightworker card pull. We'll jump right into it today. We've got the Lovers. I'm using the Vincent Petici Marseille deck. It actually just came out this past year. Really good tarot reader I follow. So with this card here, it's a little bit different than the standard depiction of it. Similar but different. Same but different, right? Anyways, what I'm taking this card for everybody in the collective is it's really trying to illustrate the fact that we have choices, right? And we're always being torn a lot of times, many different directions by any 3D things, whether it's people or our attachments or the ways that we get used to coping with things like that. So we get attached to the ways that we handle that, and then that's what leads to our programming, original programming, and then once you do self-realization, self-awareness, meditation, you start to find out about yourself and Source and God. On a real level, that's when you start getting your guidance more from a divine purpose that's deep within you. See that arrow? It's pointing inside. So you're getting that guidance from within you, from Source, from God, whatever you may want to call it. Different people have different beliefs, but it's all the same thing. And this is kind of a reminder that we have choices, right? And all the time we're going to be pulled in, it seems, three different directions. And that's where it gets a little bit confusing for people, because the Lovers, they're completely enamored with each other, right? A lot of people see that card, especially in a love reading, they get really excited. They're like, oh, Lovers, that's awesome. But the thing is the Lovers card really, it's more attachment, it's more ego, it's more needing to have somebody else, not finding that purpose. It's more listening to the good and the bad, or the bad and the good. I don't care which way you look at it. And when you're pulled between the good and the bad, a lot of times that's where you make egoic decisions, where you stand from the lower mindset versus your heart intelligence, and we make those decisions and go through, and that's the reason why we have a lot of the governmental systems in place that we have, and everything else as far as structure, economy. It's all based off of a lot of these egoic decisions of good and bad. Alan Watts talks about self-righteousness, the path to hell is paved with good intentions, kind of deal. And he talks about how self-righteousness, people get that spiritual ego, they feel like they're better than other people. And this goes for every single religion or spirituality. Spiritual people, we have it just the same amount as your Orthodox Christians or Catholics or Islamic, or anybody who goes too fundamental and starts eliminating people, things like that. They're no longer operating from this intelligence, which is true Source, your connection with God. And that goes universal for all religions. So when we make those choices, that's kind of like, when spiritual teachers and things like that, or therapists will tell you, you're attached to this drama, you're attached to certain things. So therefore, anybody who's done manifesting, that you bring things towards you, you bring those experiences and your energy patterns and what you allow, what you don't allow. So in order to rise above that, you have to look inward, where that arrow's pointing. Look at inside this person right here, to really find the true answer and kind of block out these. And yes, these might be your programming. It might be, your standard behaviors that might be a little bit destructive that, you run to because it's comfortable or it's what you've known and things like that. So that's why this is a battle constantly. And sometimes, with the battle of good and bad, that changes for you as you grow, as you get older, as you get different understandings, as you do more self-realization, more recognizing with the world, things like that. your perspective of good and bad change. So that's why they're not the best basis to make your decisions. And if you feel pressured to make a decision, that's when I would urge you to take some patience in that time, take some steps back. Of course, breathwork, meditation, instructor, tarot reader, I'm going to tell you, take some deep breaths, think about it, then move forward. Because a lot of times we pressure the situations, and I wouldn't even say think about it. I would say breathe on it. We think about it, we're going to create anxieties. I would say breathe on the situation and calm that thinking to make your best decision. And that's really, listening to in here versus the outside influences. And outside influences also include this. Just as a heads up, everybody probably knows that who watches my channel already. But definitely, it's a reminder to make those decisions. And if you're having a lot of struggles, a lot of times they are because of what we're bringing or have brought into our energetic field. And a required level of healing is needed to get through that. I guess the big thing would be like Sun Tzu quote is, do not swallow the bait from your enemy. And that's kind of the thing. And the enemy can be, the enemy to your true self or to God, to source, can be, outside influences, can be those patterns, those habits that you run to when you're uncomfortable. It can be any of those things. It can also be your mind. Again, those patterns, those programs that you use. So any of that can be the bait from the enemy. And it's all about self-actualization and searching inward. And that's what this card is a reminder for. To look inward, to make sure that your decisions are coming from this part that's inside. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day out there. If anybody wants to schedule a reading with me, I've got availability open up today, as well as throughout the rest of the week. I work 7 days a week. Pretty stoked today, having a great day. I just got accreditation for Complementary Therapy Association, so I'll be listed on their list. So that was for my meditation teachings that I've done, things like that. So again, not just tarot, but breathwork and meditation I also offer out there. So just to let anybody know that I do have those available. I also started up a Patreon, and we'll have that rolling here shortly. So if anybody wants to jump on that early, that's excellent as well. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in. Go out there and have a great day on purpose.